It's such a beautiful day. I went to a men's breakfast for my church this morning. I kind of got up early, so I was kind of tired. I was gonna just lay around, hit the yard, like work around the yard or something. But it's so hot. And I was like, man, I'm pulling out freaking the old art thing bike and gonna freaking hit the beach, man. My car's for sale. Anyone wants to buy it? I freaking bird pooped on it, mother effer. So yeah, I'm like, screw it, man. I'm gonna go for a nice ride. It's about a 15-mile ride, and then I'll hit the beach, man. It's this beautiful blue water stretch of beach by my house. It's 15 miles away, so it'll take me about 15 minutes to get there, 20 minutes to get there, and then I'll just lay in the sun. Boom, it's beautiful. I'll share it with you. I just wanted to share it with you. So, rocking the art thing bike, we out. Show this beach. One of the joys of living. There's my cat Nikki. Living by Lake Huron. It's oh no, that's not Nikki. That's Cracky. Nikki is right there. They don't like each other. Funny. I got two cats that look exactly the same. They don't like each other. Welcome to my world. My road. It was so peaceful and quiet. I wanted to slow down because deer. I had a deer almost run out in front of me a few minutes ago. It's just on the side of the road. If it would have ran out in front of me, I would have almost hit it. Maybe. But slowing down. So pretty. This is my road to my house. So I made it to my destination. There was a bunch of stretches of beaches that I could have went where there were people, not a lot of people, but I know this little secret spot here. It's private on both sides. But I remember meeting people. One of these people was a young woman who I think inherited from her grandfather this cabin. And she told me, you're welcome to use it anytime you want. And which was pretty cool. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go down the beach a little ways, and I have a couple other secret beach spots too that I could have went to, but this is good enough. And so I just said, you know what, I'm gonna grab my towel and my purple drink, and I'm gonna go down here. It's kind of a weekend. The people do come up here on the weekend and hit their cabins and stuff like that. This is kind of I wouldn't say touristy area, but not a lot going on, as you can see. Two people in a kayak, two more people in a kayak. I'm just gonna lay out here in the sun in this hot sand and get nice and hot, and then go in there and go for a dip. Talk about, I got my leather on, so I'm getting hot already. But talk about a beautiful stretch of beach. Look at the water's like glass. It's just spectacular. Nobody here for miles. One boat out there. Oh, there's another boat way out there. Two people in a kayak. See down there, way down there. I could have went way down there, and there's a couple stretches of beaches where there's probably a few people running around, a bunch of kids and stuff. I was like, I just want to go somewhere it's nice and quiet. And me and my wife used to come here. In fact, one time, we'll have a private stretch of beach that we came to, and it was a meteor shower. So we stayed out in the meteor shower all night. We took our camping fold-out bed, basically, it's the one we did camping, and folded it out, laid it on the beach right here, and sat up, and we counted, I think, 49 or 47 meteors just looking up. It was cool. And we were so snuggled up and feeling romantic that we just, made the best of it. And spent the whole night out there, which was awesome because the sun came up at like 5:36 in the morning. This big orange, amazing, like pink orange globe. It was a day like this, perfectly calm. And the sun came up and it was on the water. It was a really romantic and memorable thing to just spend the night on the beach. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd like to do that again. It's in August. The Paracels, I think, is the media shower. I think that's the name of it. It's every August, about the weekend of August 14th. And so, if it's nice and the skies are clear, we'll come back out here and get it done. You know what I'm saying? On that romantic tip. How peaceful it is here, man. You know, it looks like you could be in Tahiti, but I'm all by myself. That's what I love about it, man. I'm gonna get nice and hot when I'm getting in this water. I'm just saying. I remember this beach is actually the same stretch of beach that I got baptized in after I married Maria. I married Maria and the day after I got out of prison, and then I was baptized. Oh, it's my hand. In this lake 20 minutes later. But I remember Maria took this kind of iconic picture. I think it's iconic. I was like 2 days out, maybe 3. We went for a walk down by the water here. And I went swimming, which I couldn't get enough of because of the really hot summer. So the lake was really warm. And it was like the last week of July. And it was hot. It was like 90 degrees. And I just love being in the water. It gave me such a sense of freedom. You know. You can keep in mind, I was in a prison cell, you know, a couple days before. And now I am free to go swimming and, you know, frolic along this beach as a free man. Maria was cool. She entertained me. She didn't care. She thought it was awesome just, you know, seeing me free, happy, whatever. And I was laying on the beach after I went swimming. This is in Rogers City. And I just was laying there, and it's such peace. And she took this picture, and I'm like laying just like this, with both my hands above my head. And man, I can remember that feeling, that sensation of just freedom, man. I could breathe, you know. It's for the first time in, you know, 13 years I could frickin' breathe. And it wasn't like that sensation of fear or worry or trepidation. You know, I didn't even know if they're going to let me out, to be perfectly honest. I was scared that something might pop up from my past that kept me in. Not that I had done anything because the only thing that was statute of limitation was the murder. But I had been questioned about a murder that they said my cousin did. And they were asking me about it. And there was another shooting that I was there, and I was worried about stuff like that. But I thought, they can't do nothing. But then the thing is, they can always railroad you. They can always make something up. If they don't like you and don't want to let you out, they don't. And so leading up to my release, every day I was just freaking, man, I grinded my teeth, you know what I'm saying? I was so like, you know, freaking out. So when they finally did let me out, and I'm laying here on this beach, this very stretch of beach, I was like, I could breathe. I can relax. I'm free. Most people will never know that sensation of freedom, what it feels like. They'll wake up and take for granted, you know, that they can go to the store or go to the beach or go shopping or go to the gym. And it's like, whatever, no big deal. I mean, this is my life, man. Well, dude, I was so grateful and appreciative to not just have my freedom, but to have my wife, this amazing woman who had waited for me for 6.5 years, prepared a life for us, and my boys. You know, there's 3 or 4 of my boys waited and supported me and sent me money and believed in me and still believe in me, and that was my dog. And they know who they are. They don't, you know, try to identify themselves, but people close to me all know who they are, you know, and they're not all over social media going, hey, what up? They were there. If I needed shoes, they'd send them. My one boy, Billy, he would just write me or JPay me, or I'd call him, and he'd say, how much money do you need? And I'm like, dude, you don't need to send me no money. He goes, just tell me a number. And like, if I needed some new shoes or something, I'd be like, you know, the shoes, I need some new shoes, they're $50. He'd send me 300. because I wouldn't ask them. And Maria, the same thing. When I was in prison, dude, Maria she added it all up. It was like $40,000 on the phone. She spent on the phone while waiting for me. $40,000. We talked every day, 2 to 3 times a day, at least 2 calls at a time, so 30 minutes. So it's about $12 a day, 7 days a week, but we actually went over all the time. I'd call her, we blow up the phone, man. I can't, $700 a month or something, $800 a month on the phone. But that's how I stayed connected to the world, to reality. My wife. This is where she got our home. This is basically at the end of my road. The road the house she got us is on, this is on the end of it, which is about 2 miles. So it's a straight shot for 2 miles. And then you like cross the road and there's there's an old defunct motel type of rustic cabins on the water, but nobody uses them, they're defunct. And then you go down, there's this little creek, and then there's a little spot like this, and you can go down and just boom. I found a few little private beaches just up the road. Not a little bit farther is a lighthouse. I was gonna go there, but again, there's more people there. Going to the lighthouse, there would have been some people around. It would have been awkward making this video, and so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the secret spot. I was kind of hoping to see the girl who inherited this cabin back there. I pulled up one day and I said, "Is this legal for me to be here?" And technically, at the end of the road, yes, it is. She says, "But this is my grandfather's cabin. I inherited it, and you're welcome to use it anytime you want, or just use access to property." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." That's very nice of her. That's kind of how people are here, up here. It's just it's a frickin', dude, this place is like going back in the 1950s, man. They're waspy, yes, but people have a different set of core values and ethics. These are all really hard-working middle American people, that worked hard, saved money, bought a nice house, put money in the bank, 401k, retired at 60, yada, yada, yada. This classic middle America. And the interesting thing about this particular city, it's Rogers City. I don't care. I live about 20 miles from it now. Is that it's like controlled by this cartel. True story. There's this cartel of there's a quarry here, right? And it's the world's biggest limestone quarry. And the people who control that quarry control the politicians, and because all the votes, just like in the Teamsters and the unions, UAW down in Detroit, they control these big unions and all these employees. So if they say vote for this guy, they vote for that guy. And one thing that they don't want here is tourism. They do have every year they have a fair in town for a day or two, and they go all out for that. But they don't want tourists finding this place. They don't want freaking people hanging out, and they won't sell the real estate. You can't open a business. I mean, it's super cartel-y, man. It's crazy. But they're nice people. They just don't want to overrun with new construction and businesses, hotels. They don't want to overrun with drugs. Let me tell you, man, there's black guys, black people here. There's some black people there, but they're just good, hardworking middle American people. If you come into this town and bust out a sack and start trying to sell some dope, you ain't gonna last. You're gonna get got. They're gonna get you. And they're cook your ass and lock you up. And they're gonna fry you to the full extent of the law. They don't play around, these judges, but I mean, they're old school. You know what I'm saying? We don't want drugs here. So if you get caught with them, we're gonna convict you and send you away. Where, down in the cities, they don't have time and resources to convict every drug dealer that they catch, and they plea agreement, and they give them a plea agreement, and you might get probation or a couple of years. They're like, bam, hit your ass with 10, 20 years. Don't come here trying to sell dope. I know a town that's south here where my dad lives called Oscoda, and that's what happened there. It's overrun with drugs because dudes from the hood grab a sack, come up there and set up shop and start selling dope. and cops don't do nothing about it. You know, they might bust them once in a while, but they're not really trying to get down on them. So now you got a bunch of drug addicts and drug zombies and freaking losers running around and freaking, you know, it's pathetic. You know what I'm saying? You know the type. They come from the hood. They come down there and just set up shop and start slanging. And on one hand, I respect the hustle, and can't knock the hustle, you know, and getting the money. But on the other hand, man, you know, you're coming up to a city that has no drugs, and you're introducing the drugs to the populace. I think that's some bullshit. So if they get busted, good, cook their ass, you know. So I want to take a picture. I can take a picture while I'm doing this, actually. I think. I just do it afterwards. So I'm about to just get in this water, man. Getting nice and hot. Here I'm starting to fry in the sun. It's like 90 degrees in the sun. I'm gonna freaking jump in that lake, cool down, dry off. And then I think I'm gonna go see my old neighbor, Denny. He only lives a couple miles from here. I'm almost there, you know what I'm saying? He's a nice guy. He took me to my doctor's appointment a couple weeks ago when my car was broke. And I couldn't drive myself, so he drove me. This nice dude, super cool dude. So I'm right there. I'm gonna stop by and see him, see how he's doing. All right, man. I'm gonna get in this freaking water, man. It's getting hot. Just saying. Funniest thing just happened. As I'm coming out from swimming, this guy pulls up, lets two little girls out. They're gonna go swimming. He goes, "Hey, man, I thought you moved out of state." Some guy, I hear a voice say from this truck. What the frick? He recognized my bike. So before I moved before I went and lived off the grid up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan for 6 months with my wife, we had a state sale where we sold everything we didn't need because we couldn't take it with us, and I loaded the rest in a trailer. Anyway, he came over. He's like, "I think I bought your couch." He's like talking to me. He's like, "Yeah, weren't you a writer or something?" I was like, "Yeah, we're talking." Craziest thing, just a random guy in the middle of nowhere pulls up in a truck. It remembers me. That's crazy. But anyways, interesting. Beautiful evening. Probably seem to be filming while I'm driving my motorcycle there. So nice. As you can see, not a high population density. Not a lot of people around the way we like it.